So I think by now most of you have probably already seen the video of the bishop over in Australia being stabbed by that one deranged Muslim. It's definitely got people riled up, and for good reason, right? I mean, these kind of attacks are becoming more and more common against Christians. It seems like the West, which normally, of course, didn't have this issue, this is now becoming just the new normal. Obviously, you had the churches being burnt down all across Canada as well as different parts of Europe. You're having more attacks like these happening in places like Italy, France, and of course now here in Australia on a live stream of all things for everyone to see. And it's because everyone was able to see this, the Australian government has now gone as far as to actually try to ban the video from even existing online. So we got this story right here from the AP. Elon Musk accuses Australia of censorship after the court bans violent video. And that's exactly what they did. They actually straight up have said this video is banned from being viewed online, and any platform that allows it is going to be fined. In fact, the politicians in Australia have gone as far to say that Elon Musk should actually be jailed because he's one of the few people saying, no, this is ridiculous. This should not be the case. People should be allowed to see what's happening in their own communities. So we got right here an Australian senator. And I'll just go ahead and play this video for you real quick.
And the key be thrown away. That bloke. So when it comes to the tech billionaire, like I've already said, I think he's a social media knob with no social conscience. He has absolutely no social conscience. Someone like that should be in jail and the key be thrown away. That bloke should not have a right to be out there on his own ideology platform and creating hatred, showing all this stuff out there to our kids and doing all the rest. I'm very interested to watch what the US is going to do with TikTok. So when
he should be in jail. And he's spreading hatred by letting people know what's happening in their churches? By letting people know what's happening in their country? That's spreading hatred? That's spreading hatred? Well, I'll say this. If letting people view the truth is actually spreading hatred, maybe people have a right to be angry then. Maybe there's something that's actually, maybe there's a bit of, just anger here at this point. Because all Elon Musk has said, he has not taken a position on anything. He simply said, hey, if you have something you want to post, you can post it. This is newsworthy. This did happen in someone's community. It should be allowed to be on the platform. That's all he said. There's no ideology there. She's trying to say this is about ideology. There is no ideology there. Other than saying, hey, people should be allowed to speak freely. That's it. But let's look over here at the actual article here from the AP. Tech billionaire Elon Musk accuses Australia of censorship after the Australian judge ruled that his social media platform X must block users worldwide from accessing a video of a bishop being stabbed in a Sydney church. Not just block users in Australia, but block them worldwide. Absolutely insane. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese responded Tuesday to describe Musk as an arrogant billionaire who considers himself above the law and was out of touch with the public. By letting the public speak freely. That's apparently being out of touch with the public. X Corp, the tech company rebranded in 2023, yada, 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 will fight in court Australia's order to take down posts related to a knife attack on Bishop Marmari Emmanuel on the Assyrian Orthodox Church as the service was being streamed online on April 15th. The material was geo-blocked from Australia but was available elsewhere. And I'm pretty sure most of you have seen the video countless times at this point. I mean, at least on my X, it literally is just everywhere. And I played a censored clip of it during, of course, this video as well, because it is important for people to see. It is important for people to see what is now happening in our countries, what is now happening in the West. Now that we've imported all these people from the Middle East who do not share our values, who think it's perfectly acceptable to attack people for having a different religious view than you, this is what we get. You import the third world, you get the third world. And guess what? We've imported, almost all the Western countries have imported quite a large portion of the third world at this point. Let's be real here. But the regulator that made up the orders, Australia's E-Safety Commission, which describes itself as the world's first government agency dedicated to keeping people safer online, because I really need someone to keep me safe online, successfully applied to the federal courts in Sydney for a temporary global ban on sharing the video of the bishop being stabbed. Why global? Why global? That's right, because VPNs exist. That's right, because there's plenty of ways to get around geo-blocking. I mean, there's tons of YouTubers out there doing ads left and right about telling you how to get around geo-blocking, and they know that. And they know the people who are actually trying to be in the know with what's actually happening out there. Most of them probably already have some type of VPN and is already trying to get around their government's restrictions, because in Australia, obviously, they don't believe in free speech. Now, obviously, we believe that everyone across the world, no matter where you live, you have a right to speak freely. You have a right to share your viewpoints on any issue it could be. Doesn't matter how terrible that opinion might be, sunlight is always the best disinfectant, as the saying goes. Unfortunately, countries like Australia, they're run by tyrants who believe that they know better than you do, and you should not be allowed to say what is in your mind. You're not allowed to vocalize what you believe, because once you vocalize something, that's when you start manifesting it into reality. They don't want you to dare have the right to be able to oppose them in any shape or form, so they limit it however they can. And so a global ban is needed to make sure that people can't get around their geoblocks and still see what's happening in their country. In the after-hours hearing Monday, Justice Jeffrey Kennett suppressed the footage from all X users until Wednesday, when the application for a permanent ban will be heard. Hours later, Musk posted on his personal X account a cartoon that depicted a fork in the road, with one path leading to free speech and truth, and the other censorship and propaganda, which is where we are headed right now more and more. Musk cited Albanese telling the reporters Monday that other social media platforms had largely complied with the regulators' orders to take violent content down. I'd like to take a moment to thank the Prime Minister for informing the public that the platform is the only truthful one, Musk posted, which is pretty good. I would say this: I don't think Rumble's taking it down, obviously. I'm now wondering if I'll get any trouble for having the snippet of the video up on YouTube. We'll see what happens with this video, I guess. We'll do what's necessary to take on this arrogant billionaire who thinks he's above the law, but also above common decency, Albanese told Australian Broadcast Corporation. The idea that someone would go to court for the right to put up violent content on their platform show how out of touch Mr. Musk is. Social media needs to have social responsibilities with it. It's always a responsibility, social responsibilities. They love these vague comments. They love these vague statements, right? They love, because when it's vague like that, they can then transform it to wherever they like, right? We do this stuff in America all the time. We name our bill stuff like the Patriot Act, because if you oppose it, well, then you're not really a patriot, now are you? Well, what defines patriotism? We use vague dialogue because it allows us to mold it into our side while simultaneously criticizing the opponent on a moral stance, not just a logical one, right? So when you say that someone has a social responsibility, I believe when you say social responsibility, I believe Elon Musk has a social responsibility to have his platform be a free and open platform. Which is why, again, the words like social responsibility have no real meaning. Because what I believe is a social responsibility for Elon to do, you might believe in something different. They obviously believe in something different. They believe that the social responsible thing to do is to not let people know what's happening in their community. They believe the responsible thing to do is censor videos of what's going on in your own country. Not let you know what's actually happening around you. They think censoring the truth is part of the greater good. It's gotten so bad. It's not just Australia. That's the important thing to remember here. It's not just Australia. Australia is talking about, of course, jailing Elon Musk, all because he thinks that you should have a right to know what's happening in your community. But we have this right here: British police and a psychologist that show up at a guy's house, all because and this is in England, all because he made a post on social media saying that Christians must stand up. Well, you know what? Christians should stand up. They're being attacked left and right. Why shouldn't they? Yet British police are harassing a man All because he's saying that Christians should just simply protect themselves. Now, I credit to the British police here in one sense. They're actually petting his dog instead of shooting it like the cops in America do. So I'll give them that at the very least. But listen, they're showing up to a guy's house all because of a post he made on Facebook, or I'm not sure if it was Facebook, but a post he made on social media. And for what? Because he shared an opinion? Because he shared an opinion, cops are going to kick down your door and say, "Hey, we're going to have a talk with you. We're going to." Oh, well, why'd you make that post? It wasn't illegal, but we just wanna know why'd you make that post? And here's the thing: this stuff is coming to America. Obviously, it's coming to America. We see this now where the courts have now just started using lawfare to just destroy anyone they disagree with. You have people actually burning down cities, not only not being prosecuted, but in many instances, like the Black Lives Matter riots in Washington, which of course burnt down multiple federal monuments, actually, statues torn to the ground, guard towers lit ablaze. They paid them money. The city actually paid Black Lives Matter money because, "Oh, we're sorry, we didn't mean to arrest as many people as we did during those riots." Meanwhile, Christians protest outside of an abortion clinic actually being peaceful, and they're looking at 11 years in jail. 11 years in jail because they just simply had a actual peaceful protest. Yet these fiery but peaceful protests, these absolute riots that just destroyed our cities, these people are getting slapped on the wrist sentencing, right? Yet the lawyers who firebombed a police car get probation. Yet Christians, of course, 11 years in jail for a peaceful protest against an abortion clinic. They're starting to use lawfare wherever they can, and they will continue to do stuff until they can get away with doing stuff like this. Obviously, in America, we have slightly stronger restrictions on what the government can do, but do you really think they care? Do you really think the government cares about those restrictions? I mean, Biden's already said that it's unconstitutional for him to do any type of student debt relief, but he's going to do it anyway. He doesn't care. So when you start getting to cities like in places like New York, what's to stop the cops from doing exactly this? No, well, we're not, we're not sitting there saying that, you should be arrested for your speech, but we're just coming in to check on you. We're just coming to check. Red flag laws, right? That's kind of a stepping stone there. You didn't actually commit a crime, but we're just checking in, and we might still limit your rights even though you haven't actually committed a crime yet, just because we fear you might commit a crime sometime in the future. That's all this is. This is just a larger development of simple red flag laws, where instead you've extended that not just to firearms but to speech. And then, of course, eventually it gets as far as cases like Australia, where they are now completely trying to ban videos that are actually news relevant. Should be interesting to see what happens. Should be interesting to see what Elon Musk ends up doing at the end of the day, even if they actually do uphold in court that it should be banned globally. Really, really crazy stuff. I mean, Australia, you're a fallen country. I mean, we're all, the entire West has fallen, let's be real. We're $30 trillion in debt. I can't say much. We're a fallen country too. But y'all fallen a lot further down than we have. Like, we're still hanging on right now, barely, just please don't let us fall all the way down the well. But you're just splashing around at the bottom at this point, which is why, if we're going to start talking about people needing asylum requests when it comes to immigrating to America, we need to start opening those asylum requests over to Australia, to England, to Canada, to basically all countries throughout Europe, because y'all are really screwed over there. Either way, hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, of course, like and subscribe. And of course, on Thursdays at 9:30 p.m., we do a full 2-hour-long live stream here. Usually me and my dad, we get on and talk about whatever might be happening in the news at the time. So feel free to tune in on Thursdays at 9:30 p.m. if you want to be part of that conversation. Either way, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again real soon. Peace.